Hello, world. Hello, everyone and no one, all at the same time. Thank you for being here, and thank the rest of you for not being here. Um, go to school, kids. it, and I don't say that um as like a warning, because I have a college degree, and I'm still a super bum. So it's not necessarily going to give you a better life, but the more you know and the more people you know, the more chances you have of super succeeding or making the right friends. And where you do that is school. You meet people, make friends of you. You know they're already interested in the same stuff as you, which is a good start. It's not always guaranteed to be friends. Sometimes you make enemies with the people who are interested in the same things as you. But it has nothing to do. So I want to captain's log, Earth date 2025, December 15. No, 16. 15 was yesterday. Um, yeah, I got this illness traveling through my body. It started in my sinuses, made its way to my ear, and now I think it's headed toward my lungs. Can't afford medical attention, and so I want to talk about how pores can't take days off from work and end up getting lots of people sick. Because that one day off that you might take is crucial to everything, to whether you eat food, to whether you live inside. And when you're poor, that option to take the day off just isn't feasible. And they push the grind set agenda so hard that you're made to feel like, oh man, I just gotta go to work anyway, and you shouldn't have to. The healthcare is important, but the powers that be don't care if we live past 60. They don't care if we live to be 55, because most most people's bodies and minds are failing by then anyway, and they're no use to this society abroad according to the way that we live in Eastern cultures like China and India and all that. I can't really, because the one Chinese guy that I went to college with was mad disrespectful to his dad, but the Laotians that I grew up with, uh, they have reverence for their grandparents, and um, because old people, people like me, have experience and knowledge. Um, Not always the best experience and not always the most useful knowledge. As Michael Stevens was just talking about, is that as you get older, you feel more sure because you have more experience, but that uh, doesn't mean much, because the meat processor that's translating these experiences to memories and thoughts are all tied to memories and thoughts that existed previously based on what experience you had. So it's you you don't know that you're processing things even the right way. Even if it's relatable, even if other people agree with you, it doesn't mean you're right or that your experience and knowledge means anything at all. Anyway, yeah, I have illness. It's reaching like my lungs. I hope just my lungs. I mean, I already have asthma. I hope it doesn't get into like my heart, my bloodstream, that kind of stuff. Because I'm pretty sure it's a staphylococcal based on how it smells. But yeah, there's definitely a pathogen invading my myself, my body. And I'd rather go receive health care than to go beg to eat food. But that is my health care. That is all I can do. Um, miss my kid. Her birthday's real soon. 1 week. 1 week from today. See you next Tuesday. And I was trying to get money together so I can go do the stuff that I have to do and then pop in on her birthday. Be like, hey, kid, I miss you. I love you. Uh, but that's not happening. Because, like, unless I get enough money for train ticket, I don't have enough time now. Because the plan was I was going to take, like, a little bit of money, ship off the bulk of what I have. Because this is ridiculous. I've owned nice things 3 or 4 times in my life where I've had to just walk away from the stuff because my life was in danger. And it happened in Colorado, Rhode Island. The people are sadistic and violent. I don't take too kindly to my kind. But I did not sleep as good yesterday as I did the day prior. I did sleep, but it wasn't the best sleep. I'm tired, hungry, I'm sick. And I have to get back out into the world to try to get, and hopefully I get like extra money. Because sometimes people are extraordinarily generous. Sometimes people really, really understand and want to help. Most people are just filled with enmity and judgment and could never understand on their best day. That's a good thing. My circumstances, my life is not meant to be broadly understood. It'd be kind of sad if most people could relate to me. I think that's what makes me a good comedian, is that my experiences are so incredibly unrelatable that I make it funny. I make it laughable. I would like to get back out there, man. Tell some jokes. Make some money for making people laugh. That was cool before COVID happened. I feel like crap. I can feel it in my lungs. um, I need better food, better sleep, I need more money. Oof. And when I do ask people, what I ask them for is jobs. I ask them if there's any work I can do. I ask veterans if they need any help, particularly disabled veterans. I ask if there's anything that they would need me to do. But most likely, someone else in my position ruined that opportunity before I even got there. Because people in my position, they they steal, they break things without taking responsibility for it, which makes, because I will steal. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to put nobody down for stealing. It's just you gotta be careful about who you steal from and why. Just opportunistically nabbing stuff is not the best way. If you think and do calculations and how you gonna get the maximum value, you don't steal from people. Even the wealthy people don't deserve to be stolen from um, directly. But if you could scam Amazon or shoplift from Walmart, uh, and you need to, no reason not to. I just need antibiotics. Like the thing is, I'm not even like terribly sick. I just need like quick, like a week's dose of antibiotics to fight off whatever infection is invading my body. But to get a week's worth of antibiotics, you have to see a doctor, and that costs money too. This money I don't have. But I did wake up with a little time to kill. So I figured I'd jump on the YouTube and say hello to the world. Uh, my non-existence from this planet is imminent, regardless of how it comes about. Eventually, I won't exist anymore. So, kind of important that I can't now. Certain circumstances before, when I was like crushing it with comedy and had some kind of social movement, I didn't have the equipment to record everything and put stuff up on the internet. You'll notice that a lot of my clips from comedy and stuff like that were recorded by someone else because I didn't have money to invest in myself. All I had was time and jokes. And things were going pretty well before COVID. It I was getting out there, multiple venues, multiple cities, had multiple friends willing to help me. But COVID tightened everyone's belt and made people that a lot came from that, especially with the political climate. where you get the anti-vaxxers now all supporting Trump, drinking bleach, fucking taking ivermectin and stuff. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. In 2025, the people are more still likely to blame demons than actually try to understand germs and germ theory and what viruses are. And it's kind of weird to me because in America, the most doctors that I've interacted with are Indian people, and there's a certain view that India is like one of those. Trump's like the third world country and it's a shithole. That's not how I feel because I know people from India, and yeah, it's got its problems. That river's kind of dirty, but there's also like a lot more people. It's so very dense and it's so hard to clean up after so many people, right? You know, but as humans, we adapt and adjust anyway. So the doctors that I've had were Indians, and which is it counters the idea that it's a dirty, uneducated country, and yet nobody, not nobody, but it seems that most people would still view India as a dirty shithole, as like an unwiped asshole of Asia, and I don't find that agreeable. But here we are. If it's such a like if the Hindus and the Sikhs, uh, see that's the thing is Hindu people will still become doctors, and I guess Christians and Muslims will too. But it's so weird when a person who's working on the human body claims that they don't believe in evolution. How? Isn't that your job? Like you see it. Isn't that your job? I don't know. I don't know. So I guess this is gonna turn into another one of those streams where I wait for someone to talk at me in the chat before I really get going. I still didn't do the just doing my job story because I got caught up talking to Antonice for a little bit. Uh, that seemed way cooler than whatever I was gonna say. So I'm gonna cut my camera off momentarily so I can do grown up things, community guidelines. But if you chat at me, I will speak back to you or type into the chat. Most likely I'll speak right back at you. But I gotta take a moment, cut the camera off. Please forgive me. I am still here. I am still streaming. I'm still paying attention to what's going on in the chat, which is nothing at all. So it's really not that hard for me to pay attention to it. If you have any questions for an American comedian quote unquote, with divorced dad syndrome, even though I've never been married, uh, feel free to ask away. I have a whole world of experience, and I guess I entered my sensei phase. I am I am now the master. I am no longer the student, even though you don't really ever stop being a student. You should always be learning if the opportunity presents itself. And in fact, you should always be trying to create opportunities to learn more, in my opinion, because that's what I do. And it's not working for me, but I have fun anyway. and and I know a lot of stuff. So that's you know, people are gonna dump on me for my position in life. And one of the so okay, one of the most fun things for me to do when I'm out in the world begging is some people hate to see you live well in that circumstance. So I smile a lot. And it really annoys some people to see someone in my position smile when they're miserable because they'll be like, why do I gotta go to work? And this guy just gets to stand around and people are handing him money. And it's like, first of all, I don't get handed enough money to even live a life. And I guess I'm good at making do, resourceful, uh, peak human. Yeah, that's right. I think I'm better than most people, despite my circumstances. And I don't care if you hate me for it, even a little bit. Because that was one of the things I kind of had to come to terms with. Is people all the time, you think you're better than everyone. And for the longest time, I'd be like, no, I don't, man. I think we're equals. But I have come to realize that cognitively, athletically, we're not equals. You'd be hard pressed to find someone equal to you, dear listener. It's, you know, and to recognize your strengths and work to your strengths does not make you a worse person. You know, you realizing that I think I'm better than you does not make you a better person either. Step it up. Identify why I think I'm better. Identify where you where you could challenge me. Because my worldview has yet to be shattered. That's another thing. Is people who are unhappy with my existence will attempt to uh, infiltrate my skull with their shitty ideas of what people should be doing. You should be working 18 hours a day. That's what a man does. A man provides and works 18 hours a day, and I don't really think that that's what people are here to do historically or ahistorically. I don't like if you believe in the fucking Bible shit, that makes sense to you. But if you look at the reality and the way things are and have been, it's a collective effort of if if the man is unable to do a thing, the women and children have to be able to do that thing, or that thing doesn't get done. you think they just you think the women and kids will just sit there and wait for the man to get better, like for like I don't know, a bear attack, like he's missing an arm. Let's say he's missing an arm, and because he's missing an arm, he can't carry as much firewood or whatever the fuck providing meant at the time. You think you think the fucking kids and the women just sat there cold, Like, oh, well, there goes the man. Guess we're not going to be provided. No, you're a fucking moron if you think that's the way things work. The family picks up the slack. The family works together as a cohesive unit. And that's part of why The Simpsons is so ubiquitously good, is because it's such a balance of characters like a real family would be. You get, you know, a plethora of personalities and skills working together toward a common goal. That's what a family is. uh, and people try to argue that, all right, well, the man does this, then a woman does that. And I'm sorry, but reality doesn't reflect these ideas. And even when you enforce these ideas and thoughts that you have of gender roles, things fall apart. things things just don't. What What do you think Erica Kirk is doing right now? She's providing for those fucking kids. She didn't just slide a new man in, the provider object. You know what I mean? I mean, she's probably trying to, from what I've heard. She's definitely looking for a replacement in that role, but that's what happens. People step up and do what's required of them, or they don't. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Doesn't matter what their gender is, doesn't matter what their job or experience is. You either step up and get it done, or you don't. And a lot of people, now I hate to repeat ideas that have already been worked out by thousands of people, but uh, you kind of have to until everyone gets on board. Um, as far as like the patriarchy, the patriarchy, right? I know a lot of men like to feel superior and like they're in charge and in control, and but I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. It's not really a secret because thousands of people have talked about this. But it is an idea I came to on my own. The patriarchy also oppresses men. Putting men into these little boxes of what you think men should be is also limiting. It's oppressive. It creates a mindset of, if you're not living up to these standards, these arbitrary made up standards, that you're less than a person, or that you're no good as a man, which once which once that idea has taken hold, they people will, once they lose faith in themselves, people will do less and then slowly lose faith in other things, such as humanity or people. Whatever it is they have faith in will be eroded once they lose faith in themselves. And so when you tell men that they have to, now it's not wrong to have standards. It's not wrong to identify commonalities and what properties are exhibited, because there are certain things that men are better at, and there are certain things that women are better at. But when you reinforce those gender roles, it's limiting and oppressive. And so it's better to push people to strive to cross the borders, to break those limitations, to inspire others to break the glass ceiling or whatever boundaries are established by society, because those limitations and boundaries are not real. There are women out there. There's a good percentage, a portion of women out there who can probably bench press more than the average man. And one of the things that men relate their value to is how much they can bench press. So the idea that women can bench press more than them is offensive, and so they will call that woman manly to try to put them down so that they don't go to the gym anymore, so that they don't bench press more than them. But that attitude is oppressive to the man, because why don't you just go to the gym more so you can bench press more than the woman? unless you're unless do you do you think that you can't? Do you think that you won't be able to match the capabilities of a woman under a bar with weights on it? Is that is that why you're having to take down the woman and tell her that she's manly and not being womanly because she can bench press more than you? Because it the problem is not that she's also doing bench press stuff. The problem is that you're not beating her. You're not winning, and you're not. That's not her problem. That's not something she did wrong. That's something you're doing wrong. And it's tough to explain that to people because they have that patriarchal mindset where they think automatically, oh, the man's stronger than the woman. It comes down to what you put work and effort into, bud. Oh, I have a talker. What we doing? Plum B356. I have the camera off currently. It seems they left, but maybe not. Who knows? YouTube be lying. I have the camera off right now because I'm being a grown up. But I am open to topics to talk about really anything. But it seems pertinent and important to society at large to understand that the patriarchal view of the world is harmful to men, women, and children. It's harmful to everybody. Preconceptions make reality harder to contend with. When you have preconceptions and then reality hits you, and then preconceptions don't compart with reality. People tend to lean further into their preconceptions that rather than face with reality. It's weird. The mental gymnastics that the human mind will go through to protect itself from being wrong is kind of incredible. And there are numerous scientific studies into the field of why humans do this to protect their ego. I don't know. I don't know. Is there a study that says why some don't? I don't know. I don't know. Not an expert. I'm not at the top of my field. Um, but it sure seems harmful that people will intentionally deny reality for their see, and that's where this simulation theory ends up taking hold, is because it is a simulation, but it's a simulation of your mind, of you doing a little mental dance to make sure you don't remember certain things, or your brain making sure that you remember certain things incorrectly. And so every day you have this mental image of the world that is a simulation, plain and simple. Your brain plays tricks on you to protect itself from being wrong. And it's indicative in how confident people are more successful than people who second guess themselves. And it leads into the greedy tricksters being rich, and honest, hard-working people being happy to be poor. Because if you can do the mental gymnastics to trick yourself into believing an idea, then you know the pathway to trick another person into believing your silly nonsense idea that's harmful. You've navigated every roadblock and barrier to get to your crazy conclusion already, that you can convince just about anybody through those same roadblocks and barriers to believe that Jim Jones is going to take you to the promised land. Or, hey, I do gotta say, it seems like every time Donald Trump blows up a Venezuelan boat, gas goes down 25 cents. Anybody else that noticed that in America? That I'm not endorsing his actions or the results, because in a perfect global society, people would just make gas, and the people who need it would just have gas. Because I don't know if you know this, but a lot of gas gets wasted. A lot of vehicles are wasted just existing. Like, you ever seen one of them car lots with hundreds of vehicles? Do you think they sell all those vehicles? No. What I have the question of what happens to automobiles that are not sold? Where do they go? What? And my idea, I'm pretty sure they just go back to the factory and they slap a new shell on it and call it a different vehicle next year. But I don't know. I don't know. How would I investigate that? I personally feel like I would be a very good journalist. I would interview people well, because I wouldn't back up off questions just because they get all haughty and want to fight me. Um, and also because I'm a good observer, and I I I don't I've never really been one to really take notes, but I take mental notes and I notice things. So I think I would be a good journalist. But then there's the problem of the part at the end when you have to organize all the notes and observations into a presentable format that says something. I would struggle there, because to me the story never ends. In my humble opinion, it does not end with me, and it does not end with you. The story goes on. As they say, life goes on, with or without you. There's a lot of YouTube people that are just looking, scrolling, but because of the time, I'm I'm not certain. But then again, a lot of people throughout the world speak it English. There's a lot of people that are in China and India, and or is is that a thing? Could I could I just do English lessons? Could I just sit here and speak my language and people will learn? That's how Sesame Street got started. And wouldn't you know it, a lot of people learned English from Sesame Street. You put the subtitles on in your language. You watch it in the language it's presented as. Someone told me, now I don't know how true this is, that some languages in the world do not impart humor well. Like it's tough to make jokes because of the context, the syntax of the language. I don't know if that's true. So if you have experiences with other languages, feel free to, comment, chat, let me know what your experience with not English is. Tell me how to tell jokes in Indian syntax, cuz there's more than in India. They speak a few different languages throughout, and to my understanding, the first writings in languages come from India. Pretty sure, like the Sanskrit, which I don't know, has that been translated yet? They didn't catch the guy from Brown University yet either, which is not encouraging. Because as they say, the first 48 hours after an event are the most crucial. That drilled in our heads. The first 48 hours, and it's been I don't know how many hours. How many hours has it been since such an incident? Since I'm gonna look. I do have the internet handy right here, but I don't like to just cheat and Google stuff while I'm talking about it. But this is important. This happened next to where I live. So, new photos show person of interest in Brown University, according to NBC 4 hours ago. Six live. Okay, so CNN's got the 16 minutes ago. I'm gonna check out what they say. By clicking agree, you have read and agree to the terms. Sure, man, totally. Yeah, I read that. Police are pursuing a new lead based on photos and videos of an individual taken around 2 p.m. Saturday, hours before the deadly mass shooting at Brown University. Authorities said today the FBI, which announced a $50,000 reward leading to an arrest or and conviction. Yeah, you gotta have that's a rookie number. You gotta have to pump that number up. Sorry. I mean, I don't know. I'm not snitching for less than a mil on nobody. But hey, you show me that million in cash, I might consider it. I don't know. Who knows what I know? I don't know what I know. Maybe I know stuff. I don't. Maybe I'm just kind of crazy and retarded though. Who knows? The military thinks I'm crazy. The United States military. So, shortly after the events of September 11th, 2001, I turned 18, and me and my buddy Dennis went to join the military on the buddy system. I did the written exam. I had scored quite well. They were excited. They were like, "You could do whatever job you want." First job I could think of. I want to be a pilot. And they told me, "You can't do that job. You're too tall to do that job." I was like, well, then I guess I can't do any job I want. I went, okay. So they were like, what's the second idea that you have? I was like, well, then I want to be a Marine and I want to blow stuff up. I want to, I feel like I could be a good Marine. And they were like, all right, let's get you signed up, kid. Right. And they did all this stuff. And then they sat me down. Okay. And I said to the man, I said, I want to kill enemies in the name of America. When he said, "Why do you want to join the military?" I said, "I want to kill America's enemies." And they said, "We got enough of that." They said, "Just as likely to turn the gun on a friendly as you are the enemy." According to the United States military, I am not fit for duty. And it makes sense because my mother was ejected from the United States Army for being insubordinate. I do not come from a family or background of conformist type subordinate folks. I do not have the background of compliance. I apologize. And I kind of feel like non-compliance is the American way. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like if you're gonna be like a nation guy who believes in nations and then America, the nation that's sold to us, is that we are meant to be insubordinate. We don't we don't allow dictatorships of any kind anymore. But then we do. Like they voted for it. They wanted it. They were like, yeah, just fucking dictate my life, please. I don't know. I don't know what's going through their minds. So yeah, they're offering a $50,000 reward to identify the brown shoe, approximately 5'8" with a stocky build. That's like, I don't know, ain't that like 70% of Americans, man? Come on, the shooting left two students and nine other. Oh, oh, certain words they just can't. So censorship's not good because when you can't talk about certain things or say certain words, and then that means you can't share certain experiences. If you can't say that word or the tool that would create such an injury, if you can't say those words, how can you tell people what happened? Do you understand? If those things, if or so, and then what subject matter? So I wanted, I don't know, to always. I think I think honesty and integrity are very important, regardless of if there is a afterlife. You know, which there's almost certainly is not. Sorry, but yeah, um, honesty and integrity, and then I have the problem of like I think that my principles, right, the, that I exist with, uh, mean something to other people, but they don't. The other people are they're animals out there. They are very unprincipled, undisciplined. They have no self control. They have no understanding. It's I don't know. I have fun with it. I have fun with it. I like to laugh. So my my existence for some reason annoys the crap out of some people. They hate to see me succeed. You can see it in their face when the harder I smile, the more at the ground they look. It's like you're wrong. Like, I don't understand that. Why do that? I don't know. You don't have to be a miserable person. All right. Well, that's the stream. I gotta go live. Well, try to get some money to live. Thanks for watching. I love you. Bye. And please consider subscribing to my channel. I don't know, like the video. And if you can donate money, please do. ComicBrandon on Venmo and PayPal. Bye.